How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a speed gauge remix. The track we're looking at today is my own remix of DJ SKT's Take Me Away. Here's a preview of what we're going to be going over in today's video. Great, guys. Yeah, this summer I'm making loads and loads of different speed gauge remixes just so I've got them for my own sort of library, and I'm going to release them all on SoundCloud. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on my SoundCloud, give it a follow. There's going to be loads of tracks dropping on there, probably like one every sort of 2 weeks. And I'm also going to be doing breakdowns of them on the YouTube. Cool, so the track itself has 2 separate drops. So in the next video, I'll probably be going over the second one. So the first one, as you heard, is sort of that classic speed gauge. That like Reese bass, and then the second drop. So yeah, I'll be going over the second drop in the next video. But today, let's firstly start with this. You and me, 'cause that's what it's for. Show you now what it is. So yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just the vocal and this Reese. If we have a look at the notes, D sharp, B, C sharp, A. So it's sort of working its way down the scale. The patch sound itself is obviously made in Serum. So yeah, the idea of just having the Reese on the intro sort of comes from Scream's In For The Kill. I don't know if you've heard this. Basically it starts with a fat Reese. So yeah, it's just vocal and like a fat Reese. And so yeah, I guess I sort of drew inspiration from that, although I've not heard that song in years. Let's have a look at the Serum patch. So it is actually a preset from my Speed Gauge Volume 2 pack. You can get that from the link in the description. And this is probably my most used pack of all the packs. I probably use this one, and I use the Over Mono one a lot, and Speed Gauge one. To be honest, I use all of them. They're all good for different purposes, and there's a lot of gems in all of them. It's got like tons of like basses, leads, look at all those Reeses, warps, basically everything you need to make in Speed Gauge. So yeah, let's have a look at how this is made then. Let's start by initiating the preset, and let's go to Digital Harmonic Morph. Pitch that down by 2. Digital Harmonic Morph down by 2. Turn this filter on. This is going to be quite rough, but I'm just giving you the sort of idea of how to make it. So it's going to sound like this. We're then going to detune it. So let's go plus 31, minus 31. Go over to this macro, drag that on the wavetable, and drag that up. And then you can obviously adjust this filter, maybe add some fat, some drive. Maybe come here, make it a bit wider. Some reverb, baby. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Next, we are gonna have a look. Let me just change that back to the original pack. Cool, yeah, this is the original. It's slightly more obviously refined, but yeah, obviously if you want this patch, then just go to link in the description. It's also in like the bundles, so you basically get all the other packs for a much cheaper price. Cool, let's have a look at the next section. So there's a lot more going on. So the first we have is this donk. So yeah, it's from that same Speed Gauge 2 pack. So yeah, go to Analog Basic Shapes, select the square, and then you come to here, and then I've added that. You get a little bit more harmonics. You can also take that even further. So you do stuff like that. And so yeah, then we've got this envelope one, controlling the filter. So we've got the cutoff all the way down. Then we've dragged this little arrow here onto the cutoff, dragged it up to 31, and then obviously shape this. Cool, so yeah, it's a pretty simple patch. We've also then fattened it up. I really like this fat setting. See, I really like using this fat knob and just putting it all the way to 100. It just makes like bass patches a lot more like thicker, and without using the word, it makes them fatter, it seems. Like it doesn't really seem to adjust the volume, but it just makes it a lot more sort of dense. So yeah, I really recommend using that fat knob. We have these EQs. So they're basically just taking out all of the low end. If I turn them off, it's like pure bass. And I didn't want any bass really in the build, so then the drop hits harder. Like if this had all the bass in, like it completely washes out that drop and almost seems like the opposite of a drop. So yeah, definitely in the build take out the bass, or at least in this sort of section, before using like an EQ or an auto filter. Cool. And on the next bit we've got this obviously build bass. It's just the same as this Craving For You, which is the same as the drop. Let's have a look at the notes. So we've got D sharp, G, F, A, B, C, F. I think this meant to be minor. I mean, yeah, it's not really the same notes to be honest as the initial start reads. But yeah, we've sort of come in with this sort of rhythm. And that just repeats itself. Even in the drop, it's the exact same. But obviously with the lower notes I come in, there's no EQ taking it out. Cool, yeah, I mean, this sort of intro, this Pro Q isn't really doing anything, it's just taking off some top end, which isn't actually really needed. But yeah, we've got this auto filter taking out the low end, as you can see, making sure when it does come in for the main drop, then it hits hard. Cool. Next, we have this lead synth. So you guessed it, it's from the same pack. Yeah, I mean, everything from this project, I guess, is from that new pack. So yeah, this is like the Yosemite, I can't remember, I got told off for saying it wrong in a comment the other day. Anyway, let's have a look at it. So oscillator A, the basic saw waves to this, when you also turn on initiate preset, this will come up, these saw waves. And we've got -4, +29, but the main beauty of this sound, apart from this, comes from the unison. So it's going to be on 1, pitch up to 5, and then detune it to about 0.19 and 0.13. Cool, yeah, so let's have a look at the effects. So we've got this distortion first, nice bit of drive, nice bit of mix. Isn't doing too much to be honest, but we're also taking out a little bit of the top end with this filter, because that sort of old style lead, using a few different tracks, like old school tracks. Back then there wasn't as much high end, because the quality wasn't 20,000 hertz or whatever, it'd be cut off at like 18. So yeah, I've sort of cut that off. And then we've got this chorus and obviously a nice bit of plate reverb. Without it, it's gonna be dry. And we've got a reverb also here. Without both, it's gonna be dry as fuck. Yeah, make sure you're drowning that in reverb. The notes, pretty simple, just F sharp, A, G, F sharp, A, G, or A sharp, G. Pretty simple, and that just repeats itself. But without it, it's quite boring, it's just vocal. Sort of just gives you something to like nod your head to. Next we have is the drums. Got this kick, speed garage, kick, and then we've got these top drums. So to be honest, when I'm making my own productions, I usually just drag and drop loops. These are from the Speed Garage Volume 3 drums pack. So it has like over 400 loops, one shots, effects, like it's got basically everything. So you just go through and just drag them into a project. And so yeah, that's what I've got. I've got 2 loops here. And then I've layered that with another one, just so it's got more oomph. And then we've got this kick, but that is literally it. That's the drums, it's 3 layers. Cool, and if we have a look at the effects for the drums, all I have is the glue, which for the millionth time is the same as glue compressor. So yeah, you can just use that. You don't need to buy this plugin. All we have is that. Without that, it sort of sits the back of the mix. This just really like makes it a lot louder. If you want to have a look at the settings, I just use the drum full parallel, which you can also use from here. Full parallel here, look, drum full parallel. So it's the exact same preset that I use, and I recommend using it on drums. We've then got this ride. So this is just a random ride I found in one of my folders. Like, I guess it sort of fits in with the mix. And yeah, then we have this snare build in the intro. So these are the Eurotrance snares. If I show you how these are made, so up and down, and then it gets quicker in the second half. And we've also got this decay, so it starts low, But when you do this, make sure the sustain's all the way down. Then it creates almost like a drum roll, because you're letting in that tail. Because at the start, what you're not hearing is like this, and then that's sort of dragging out as the decay's coming up. And same with this second layer. It's just a different snare, but it's doing the exact same thing. Great guys, thank you very much for watching. In the next video, I'm going to go over a few of the other elements. So there's this. So I'm also going to go over the second drop, which is this. And it's also got this like warpy bass. And it also sort of transforms into a more heavy bass like this. Great guys, thank you very much for watching. I will be back next week to show you how that is made.